Hi, this is Trinesha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about stop worrying about what you don't got. I know it's probably going to be like one of those improper English titles or whatever else, but listen, I really have been doing a lot of reflecting lately. And the other video that probably came out right before this, unless God guides me to put it out earlier, is going to say something that's a little similar, just about, you have more than you need, but this is more about stop worrying about what you don't have. A lot of times in life, it's easy for the adversary to put on our mind the things that we lack, like he did with Eve in the garden. When they had everything they could possibly imagine in their life. They had the food, they had this relationship with God. They had everything that they possibly needed in their life. And still the adversary wanted them to make them feel like they were lacking something. He wanted to make them feel like they were missing something. He wanted to make them feel like there was something that they did not have in their life. And that's exactly how the adversary does us in our life. He makes us feel like, well, our whole family didn't have any money, so we'll never have any money. He makes us feel like, well, it's nothing but dysfunctional relationship, so a healthy relationship isn't possible. He makes us feel like, well, nobody has a dad or nobody has a mom. He makes us feel like, well, nobody works in a position like this. Nobody in our family is a millionaire. Nobody in our family has generational wealth. Nobody in our family has left a legacy. But you know what? You could. You could be the person that has a healthy relationship. You could be the person who ends up being a billionaire. You could be the person who leaves a legacy. You could be the person who has generational wealth. You could be the person who has all of these things that everyone else said was impossible. You could be the mother who's always there, even though other people in your family might not have had a mother. You could be the person who has a husband who is a great father, who ends up being there for your child. Stop feeling like God is going to let you be at lack of anything. Because if anything in your life God has removed, it's for a reason. It's because he has better, because the timing is wrong, or because you still have more work to do. So get to work. Start focusing on the things that you need to do so you can grow, so you can be better, so that you can become everything that God intended for you to be. I was listening to a pastor earlier and he was talking about mindset. He was talking about how sometimes we believe that we don't have something. We believe that we're lacking something. We don't believe that we're worthy. We believe the worst of ourselves, or the least of ourselves, instead of thinking of ourselves and what God can do as an abundance. Instead of saying, well, I don't have money to do blah. How about the same way that you splurge on something that you don't need, you splurge on something that's investing within yourself. You start to spend money on something that is making you become a better person, something that is growing you, something that's healing you, something that will advance your career, something that will advance your educational awareness, your mental awareness, your emotional intelligence. Start investing in those things instead of spending money on things that you don't need, frivolous things that mean you no good. Because, I love fashion. I really love fashion. If I am budgeting, if I'm in a position in my life where I can't go out and just buy the newest, let's say Louis Vuittons, I'm just shouting a brand out there. I'm not saying that's a thing or whatever else, or Prada, or, it could just be I'm at, DSW or somewhere. And I'm at one of those stores, just shouting out names. If any of you guys want to, give me like some, for like affiliate marketing or whatever else, great. Listen. It doesn't matter what brand it is that you're wearing or where you are shopping for something. If you love fashion in your closet, for me, I love designing my own things as well. And I know like a few things about sewing, and I have a sewing machine and a Cricut and all the other things. So this stuff that I'm wearing right now, I've had this stuff for like 2 years, but I mix and match. I make it look a little different. I wear it in different ways. This sweater, you've probably seen me wearing 3 of these videos, but it has been worn as a cardigan. It has been worn as a jacket with a leather belt tied with a bow in the front. And now it has been worn like this. I will continue to wear it in different ways, although it is the same outfit. I didn't have to go to the store and buy more items just to be able to make my fashion pop, just to be able to have a different outfit. I used what I had and I made it more I made it into, instead of it being something that was a lack or something that was a little, I made it into something that can be used in several different ways. Just like what people do with the white button-up t-shirt. You see people use it as a skirt. They'll use it as a backwards shirt. They'll put it forwards. They'll bend in the collar and wear it as a crisscross thing. They'll tie the front. People do so many things with that one shirt. But the mindset change, or the difference between one person who wears that shirt as a button-up shirt just to go to work and a person who wears it as excuse me, as a button-up shirt to go out on town, to go to an interview, to go hang out with your friends, to go to church, wearing it as a skirt, wearing it as a button-up shirt, is the mindset. This person is thinking lack. This is only one thing. They're thinking they can only do this tiny thing with that. This other person, on the other hand, is thinking abundance. They're thinking of how they could prosper with this thing. And it's funny because God blesses us with so many things, but we are the ones that don't utilize the things that we're already given. And something that God put on my heart in the past, and I just thought about it again in this video, is God said something to me once before, and he said, I can't give you more than that if you're not already utilizing what you have. If you are not being a good steward, I know that's in the Bible too, but this really spoke to my soul that day that God told me. And today it's like, sometimes we get that spiritual amnesia and we forget, exactly what the Bible says. We forget exactly what it is that God intends for us and what it is that we should be doing in our life, because life distracts us, because we start to think about what we're lacking instead of what we're packing. And so I really had to start just focusing in on God. And honestly, if you're not going to be a good steward over a few things, why would God ever bless you with more? Why would he feel like he could trust you with more if you're not already being a good steward of the finances that you do have? If you're not already serving or helping other people with the things that God has already given you? Why would he give you more so that you could do more of nothing? He would only bless you so that you could bless someone else. When I'm on these videos, as long as I have this stuff in my house with this setup so that I can do videos and things like that, I will continue to do that, because I am going to serve in my purpose in any way that I can. As long as God allows me to go out of the house, when I go different places, when I'm talking to any person, I'm looking them in their eyes. I really truly care about every human being I come in contact with, and I care about them being okay. When I ask them how they're doing, I ask them how they are feeling, because I am intentional about the conversation that I'm having with different people. If I'm speaking life into someone, I'm speaking life into everyone I come in contact with, because I don't know when I'll get another opportunity. I don't know if the things that I say to them is helping them in their life, which is why when people come and they give me bad news or they say things to me, I don't let that distract me. I might feel a certain way. I might emote like normal, but I keep it moving. And I give myself permission to cry. I give myself permission to be angry. Whatever emotion it is that I feel, I give myself permission and the time to be able to process that, because I need to be able to do that so I can be healthy mentally. If I hold in all my emotions, I will blow up. I will just continue to pretend like everything is okay, and then 2 months, a year later, I will just blow up. I don't want to be that type of person. So whenever people encounter me or they have a conversation with me, I am straightforward. I am about that life. Like, I'm real about my stuff. So like, if there's a way that I feel, I say it in the most respectful way, and I say it poignantly. I say it in a way that is just, I need to make sure that whatever I'm saying is intentional and is to the point. If someone says something that I don't like, in the most respectful way, I will say, hey, I would really appreciate it if you don't say this in the future. Or please don't say this in the future. I understand, your intention might not be malice. It might not be, coming from a facetious place. But the way that I process things, the way that I handle things in my life, I need to be able to process it in my own time. I try to say things respectfully and to the point. I don't have this long drawn out story. I don't tell people my whole life story. I mean, if it's one of my friends and they ask me more questions, they want to know what's going on because they truly care, I will tell them things like that. But when it comes to other people, when it comes to people I'm getting to know, when it comes to people that I don't know like that or that I'm learning, I try to make sure that I am letting my yes be yes and my no be no. If I don't like something, it's an absolute no. It's not a maybe. It's not a I'm going to change my mind. It's a no. And when I say yes, I let my yes be yes. If they're saying, hey, would you like to go to this thing? Hey, are you okay with this? I will say yes, because I am okay with it. And so I try to make sure that I set my intentions intentionally. I'm making sure that every person that is in my life is there for a purpose. I don't just have people just sitting around just for no reason. If I allow people to be a part of my life, it's because God has introduced them in my life, and I feel like we could be mutually beneficial to one another. It's not because I'm trying to take something from anyone. It's not because I want someone to take something from me. It's because I feel like we could both benefit from our relationship. So with my friends, we're both there for each other. We both care about each other. We're both benefiting. When it comes to my family, if they need something, I'm there. If I need something, they're there. And, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever, I try to help as much as I can. That's the type of person I am, and that's the type of person that most of my family members are. When it comes to a potential person, if they need someone to talk to, if they are trying to get to know me, I am intentional about where they are in my life. I don't just allow people to be a part of my life and then just drag them along. I don't believe in that. I know some people are like, well, just have fun. Just, talk to whoever or whatever else. And I get it. I get, that life should be full of fun, but I have business to take care of. I have I have things that I need to do in my purpose. I don't have time to waste on someone who's not going to be a part of my life. Someone that I don't see in a position in my life, I don't feel that time with that person. I can't waste that time like that. You know, like I just feel like it's nothing wrong with getting to know someone. Like I'm not just saying just cut off real good people for no reason. I'm just saying that if it's someone who we're not equally yoked, if it's someone whose intentions are not set, and they don't know where they're headed or what it is that they want in their life. If it's someone who feels like God is just the option, if it's something like that, it's no point in me wasting my time. And I'm not saying I couldn't be nice to a person. I'm not saying I wouldn't be respectful to the person. I'm just saying for me in my life, with me being intentional with my relationship with God, I need to stay focused on God. I don't need any distractions. I need everything in my life to be there for a reason, not just for time, to take up time, because time is something I can't waste. It's my most valuable asset besides me mentally educating myself. Because me investing in my brain, me investing in books, me investing in courses is one of those things that it's just it's it's a great asset. And so I know some people will be like, "Oh, dang, that's like a little harsh." But listen, my life is not a joke. I know like we like to pretend like it's all fun and games and everything, but I am the type of person who does not. I usually have walls up and I don't really let people in. So if you are a part of my life, it's because I feel like you deserve to be there. And it's because your intentions are known. It's because you are real with me. It's because I feel like you are a person who deserves time. It's not, and I don't mean that in like I'm trying to say, oh yeah, you got to be like this. Listen, you just have to be yourself. I don't want anybody to be any person like trying to pretend to be something else for me. I just want people to be who they are and just know that there's no judgment, you know. So, I know that this video seems like it was long, but it's really not too long. But in conclusion, stop worrying about what you don't have. Don't worry about the man, the job, the car, the house, whatever it is that you think that you don't have in this moment. Because if you know God like I know God, and one day the whole situation can change. God could spin the whole block. When I tell you my God is about that life, he is really about that life. You might think that man is gone and then he comes back. I'm not saying that for the people that's like, I don't want to move on, even though it's not supposed to work out and that's not the God for you. I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking about if God is in it, if God has told you this is the person that's for you, and you have discerned and you've spent time and you know that this is a person who is supposed to be a part of your life, God's going to spend the block. That's not the last opportunity. I'm not saying when. It could be a year from now. Who knows? So you need to just focus on God. Keep your sights and your eyes focused on God and your intentions on building your relationship with God and growing yourself. Because if the person is supposed to be there, they will be back. Okay? And also, you don't want to miss any other opportunities because you're focused on something that you can't change in this moment. And stay a lady. Do not lower yourself just to try to prove something to someone else. You are already enough. You're already worthy because God created you worthy. You don't have to try to be anything but yourself. So don't feel like you have to go out of your way to be something for somebody else, because the only thing you have to do is be yourself. Be the person that God created you to be at your best version. That's it. Sometimes we like to put a lot of pressure on ourselves and make ourselves seem like we have to be perfect, but only God is perfect. You always have to remember that. Always know that you being the best that you can is you doing everything that you can do. And if God is blessing you with something, whether it's a house, a car, whatever it is, utilize that. You're saying it's hard to find a job, Uber. Do Uber Eats. Do, Lyft. Start driving. Start renting out your car. If you know that you don't have to work for the next week or so, for the next week, rent out your car and do that thing. I can't remember what it's called. Look online for different ways to make money utilizing your car because you have a car. So that's another way for you to make income. You're saying that you don't have any money, but you can make income from that. Someone could rent your car for $50 a day. And by the end of the week, you've made $250, $300 because you're utilizing what God has already given you. If you have a house and you know that you're going away on vacation or something, you could have someone stay at your house and be like a house sitter, and you could charge them to stay there for the week or for 3 or 4 days, however long it is. They could vacation there. Maybe they haven't been at the place where you live. Look up the rules, regulations. Please do not break the law. Just make sure you're being smart about it and really find out ways to make money doing that. You have a Cricut, make a t-shirt. I know you're probably like, everybody makes a t-shirt. There's that saying that you say, or there's something that you like to do, like about that life. I'm about that life, or unless God is in it, I don't want it. Like whatever it is that you're saying is, put it on a t-shirt, put it in a vendor show. There's vendor shows all in your local area all the time. Go to the vendor show, wear the t-shirt. People will see the t-shirt on you. You wear it in your cute little style with your jewelry, or, you got your New York hat on, whatever else it is. Your New York fitted and, everything else. And you might have your lows on with your t-shirt and people are like, ooh, that t-shirt looks good. The way you put that t-shirt together looks good, but they want it now. So don't ever feel like you're at lack of something or you're missing something or you don't have enough, because God is giving you everything that you need. You just have to utilize your brain. You have to utilize the things that God has already blessed you with, so that when you are a good steward of a few things, God can bless you with many.